Welcome back to PERK'S reCAP podcast. Once again, with me is Al. Al, another week in the books. We're going to do the Week 11 review show, and there's no rhyme or reason to this season.
That is the only thing that is consistent this year. That there is no consistency.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, man, I would not want to be a professional odds maker this season. They've got to be pulling their hair out. This is just a fascinating season, man. Nothing easy to figure at all.
Absolutely not. Well, let's just jump right into the craziness that was Week 11.
Let's do it, man. Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, right out of the gates, New England continues their stellar run and defeat the Jets 27-14. The Jets looked pretty hapless in this one, and New England just kind of took care of business.
Yeah, I mean, they were clearly the better team. They did exactly what they needed to do. They won solidly, convincingly. The Jets they went back to being the Jets after reeling off two in a row, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Or two of their last three, maybe. But Justin Fields played a fairly typical Justin Fields game and got benched moving forward. He is they're going with Tyrod moving forward, and I like Justin, but I can't defend him. I'm not gonna be like, no, you should keep him your starter after a 15 for 26 for 116-yard game. It wasn't horrible. I mean, he ran for 11 times for 67 yards and a touchdown, didn't turn the ball over, but it's not like he's winning them games. So I get it. They gave him more than enough time.
That's true. They definitely have. New England, very disciplined with only 2 penalties all game.
Nice.
You don't see that often in today's NFL.
Absolutely.
And, the Drake May for MVP noise continues. 25 for 34, 281 yards, a touch, and a pick, no picks. But the good news here for me in the last couple of weeks is Travion Henderson is taking this job, and now that I'm sure there's going to be more of a timeshare when Stevenson comes back. But until then, he has really done well. He only had 62 yards, but 2 touchdowns. He also caught 31 yards and another touchdown, so 3 touchdown day for Travion Henderson. And I was pulling for him from the beginning to really have I was looking for him to have a big year.
Yeah, I mean, I was calling for his breakout the first carry I saw him have in the preseason. He looked like a NFL player to me instantly, and it took a little time. It's funny, I was reading an article and it was reminding me that it took Mike Vrabel till Derrick Henry's 3rd season to make him the number 1 running back.
That's right.
So he can be a little slow to come around on rookies. We have a track record there. So the fact that Stevenson got dinged up a little bit was the only way this was probably going to happen. And let's see what it's, again, because of maybe the Vrabel factor and also the fact that, Ramondre got a decent contract, as I've said several times throughout this season, that doesn't happen to running backs very often in this league anymore. So he's going to get carries, but I think it almost has to be Travion at least being the lead guy moving forward, but let's see.
Right, exactly. I agree. Stephon Diggs just keeps doing it. 9 catches, 105 yards.
Yeah, the further he gets away from that injury, the better he's getting, and he is a super valuable player on such a young team.
Yep, and your boy there, Mac Hollins, also had 4 catches for 64 yards.
Mac is like establishing himself as their number 2 or really a solid number 3, but I love him. Love me some Mac Hollins. He's going to be showing up barefoot in the snow any week now, and I love it.
Yep. Nothing really to talk about offensively other than Justin Fields for the Jets. And the Patriots are now 9-2.
Yep, unbelievable, man.
Wow.
Yeah, weak schedule or no, and it is incredibly weak. They have exceeded, I think, the highest of expectations.
I'm going to take it a step further. Now, when I say that, what do you think I'm thinking?
I don't know.
I think they're going to get the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me pull up.
That's what I think. That's where I think we're headed. Is the AFC is going to go through New England again?
That's freaking possible, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
Man, wow. Yeah, because their biggest competition would be the Colts and the Broncos.
Yep. I mean, it's right there. It might not work out, obviously, but it's right there for them to do it.
Yeah, I would. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. It is very possible. Very possible.
All right. Well, let's move on to another AFC team.
Okay.
In the same division, Miami takes care of business against Washington. I actually picked Washington like a dolt. Although, I mean, this was a game that really,
It could have gone either way, man. It
was in
wasn't that bad a
overtime.
pick.
Yeah, it was in overtime, and it was a field goal, but still. You and Joe got this one right, picking Miami. I picked Washington, as I said. We all picked New England, by the way, so we got that one right.
Yes.
Just I don't have a whole lot to say about this game. They just ran it down Washington's throat. They only threw for 140 yards. Miami.
Yeah. Shan has proved he's a workhorse, which did not look like was going to be the case when he came into the league. He looked like a real flash sort of guy that was awesome, but not a workhorse. And he has proven that wrong. He is both.
120 yards on the ground on 21 carries.
Yeah, beast.
Even Ollie Gordon got 45 yards on the ground, averaging 5 yards a carry. So they ran it for 100. Yeah, they ran it for 169 yards.
That's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, Melvin Gordon's lesser-known brother.
Yep, and Tua only threw for 100. He threw for 171, but with the sacks, he netted 142.
Yeah, he had an efficient day. No touchdowns, but a solid day, but nothing spectacular. But it was the run game, man. It was absolutely the run game, and their D stuffed. Absolutely, just stuffed Washington. And Mariota, who played a pretty decent game, all of a sudden Mariota'd it up in overtime and threw a pick on their first. They won the toss. He threw a pick instantly, and the Dolphins kicked that field goal.
First play, he threw the pick.
Instantly.
And what's going on in their backfield? Because Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, that guy, he was the lead back for a while, but in this game, Chris Rodriguez led the team with 15 carries, and Merritt only had 9.
Yeah, it's they've never let Merritt just be the guy. I mean, he's usually coming in somewhere right in that ballpark anyway, because like the previous 2 games, he had 11 and 12 carries. So, but the unusual part here was that there was another guy getting a massive amount. So, I don't know. He maxed out at 17 carries on October 3rd. But check this out. Since he went hog wild against the Chargers on October 5th, 14 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. But since then, he has not averaged more than 3.6 yards a carry and has been going down, 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 down. So he has not earned it.
Wow. Very interesting. Deebo Samuel, 74 yards and a touch, but nothing spectacular other than him. Zach Ertz caught a few balls. Nothing really going on. This was not a great game to watch. I tried to for a little bit, but I couldn't really. I checked back in at the end when it was tied to see who was going to win, but I checked out for a little while because it wasn't a fun game to watch.
No, there was nothing fun about it. The thing of note to me in this game is that and I'm just as soon as I started to say it, I blanked on their coach's name. What is Miami's coach?
McDaniel.
Yes. He has saved his job for the immediate future. I mean, they already said he was going to get through the season anyway, but he's got a chance now to stick around, which I never thought was going to happen 3 weeks ago.
I don't know. He made a really dumb decision to get them to overtime. He went for it. He threw the ball on like 4th down when they were trying to just run out the clock.
but but the clock doesn't stop on fourth down anyway. I mean, it stops on fourth down anyway.
Hang on, was it fourth down? Hang on, I gotta catch it again.
I'm trying to remember because I was in and out on this game, and I was trying to watch.
I remember him making a really, really dumb decision.
Not surprised if you're right. I just don't remember.
Yeah, no, of course we can't. I would have to go like play by play, and I'm not doing that.
No, nobody wants to do that with that game. But yeah, no, I'm sure you're right. I didn't see it probably, or because I was in and out of the room trying to get ready for something while seeing what was going on. So yeah, I probably missed whatever you're talking about. But regardless, I mean, he looked like it was hopeless 3 weeks ago, and now he's got a shot again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, they turned it over. There it is. I found it actually. They turned it over on downs when it was 13-13, and they didn't punt. That's what it was. They went for it.
Oh, they went for it instead of punting. Okay.
And that's yeah. Now it didn't bite them because Washington came down and missed the field goal. But if Washington kicked that field goal, they would have lost.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying for sure.
I just remember that's about when I turned back in, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, man. No, that's fair. But and there, as we will discuss throughout the episode this week, there are a lot of coaches making a lot of questionable decisions, and coaches, by the way, that aren't anywhere near the hot seat made some asinine decisions this week.
Yes. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right.
Pittsburgh over Cincinnati, 34-12. We all got this one right. We all picked Pittsburgh, but they lost Aaron Rodgers to a left wrist injury, and it doesn't look like he's going to play this coming week.
Yeah, I hear he's angling to try and play, but nothing definitive yet. It sounds like he probably won't, but it's starting to sound like he probably won't.
Right. But they kind of took care of business here, and they're a better team than Cincinnati at this point. But Mason Rudolph does not instill any confidence for me. And but Jalen Warren had a really nice day. Kenneth Gainwell, my goodness,
yeah, he's a man.
Had nine carries and then came back with 7 catches as well and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, man. Nah, Kenny's great. He was a really good number 2 for the Eagles for 3 or 4 years. And I love him. And he had almost a 200-yard game earlier this season when Jalen Warren missed a game, and then he just kind of went away. They went back to Warren as the number 1 guy, and until this week, and he's been solid in the number 2 role. But I thought he earned some more carries earlier this year, and at least some more touches. And it's great to see him succeed. I love the guy. He's a really nice player. I don't think he's ever going to be a bell cow for anybody. He's fairly small, but he's a really nice player.
Yep. The score got lopsided because of the turnovers. Flacco had a pick, and they also had a fumble that they lost.
Yeah.
But in terms of Flacco, pedestrian day, 199 yards. I don't like the 23 for 40. That's not a great percentage at all.
No.
But Chase Brown looked good. 18 carries, 99 yards. That's a nice average.
And has there been a more disappointing player in fantasy this year than Chase Brown? So that's nice to see.
Yep. And then T. Higgins caught the touchdown. He had 63 yards. But not a whole lot going on offensively. Obviously, they only scored 12 points. So, the story coming out of this really is just it's Aaron Rodgers and the fact that he got hurt.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And the other story real quick, 2 things actually, real briefly, is one, the minor resurgence the Bengals had under Flacco is dead in the water. Yep. They've now lost 3 in a row. They had gotten themselves to 3-4 with Flacco after being, I think, 1-4. And that seems like a long way away now. The other is the play of the game in this game, and I'm being slightly facetious, but not entirely. Did you happen to see the Steelers have that tight end, Darnell Washington, who's like 6'7", 300 pounds. Did you see the one where he just ran over a couple Browns by any chance?
Yes, absolutely.
How awesome was that? I mean, he just, if you haven't seen it, people, I'm not going to be able to do it justice explaining it, but he just trucked three dudes on the Bengals defense like
He
they
never
were
went
children.
down. He went out of bounds and knocked somebody else over and never went down.
Yeah, he just blew over a cornerback who was trying to punch the ball out. It looks like he's a 8-year-old trying to punch his daddy.
And the
You know
whole
what I
thing,
mean?
and the whole thing started with a stiff arm that he just completely flattened somebody with.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. If anybody ever saw Eagles tackle Jordan Mailata, anybody ever saw his old Australian rules football highlights, it looked like that.
A lot of penalties in this one, 16 penalties, but they were even. It was 8-8, so that didn't play a part.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm ready to move on if you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on to what in God's name.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville 35, the Chargers 6. What the hell?
I mean, this is when we were talking earlier, we didn't get into the specifics, but we were talking earlier about another crazy week in the league. This is Exhibit A right here. Just when it looked like the Chargers had figured out how to play without Joe Alt and had really established themselves again as a proper contender in the AFC, they go out and get not just lose, but get embarrassingly destroyed by one of the
dog walk.
Yeah, by one of the most mystifyingly frustrating teams in the league.
Yep.
Justin Herbert. Look at Justin Herbert's stats, Craig.
I'm calling them up now. Let's see. 10 for 18, 81 yards.
And a pick. What is that?
And 42 yards rushing on the day for the whole team.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they just there is absolutely nothing to look at here for their offensive stats. There's nothing here.
Zero. Yeah, it's like they weren't even there. It's crazy.
Wow. Just wow. And Jacksonville had a two-headed rushing attack with ETN, 19 carries, 73 yards, and then Tootin, 15 carries, 74 yards. That had 3 touchdowns between them. Trevor Lawrence ran one in as well. That's 4 rushing touchdowns on 192 yards rushing.
Incredible. And Lawrence didn't even have that good a game throwing the ball. I mean, he was 14 for 22 for $153 and a touch and a pick. That doesn't get it done most days. But like you said, their rushing attack was awesome. Jacoby Myers made his presence felt really heavily for the first time since the trade. Big news there.
Yep.
What is going on with the guy who was so great as a rookie last year? What is his name? Brian Thomas?
Brian Thomas, he was hurt. He's been hurt the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, what's it? When is he? I'm going to try and find it rather than just ask
I have him in fantasy. He's questionable every week, and then on Friday or Saturday he gets ruled out.
Okay, because they're saying he probably won't play again already. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, that's big for them at least that Jacoby Myers is establishing himself because they need a receiving presence. But this was a huge win for Jacksonville. I mean, they were heading, it looked like to me, to just straight out of the playoff discussion, and this vaulted them right back in the mix.
Yeah, they're 6-4, so they're right there.
Yep. And the Chargers all of a sudden look like a bad, desperate 7-4.
Yep. Jacksonville had a 37-22 time of possession advantage and committed, count them, 1 penalty.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
1 penalty for 5 yards was the only thing Jacksonville did all day.
Well, that's a recipe for success.
And they outgained them 345 to 135.
Nice. Wow.
That means, the Chargers had 135 yards of total offense for the Chargers.
I mean,
Against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's astonishing. I don't know what to say. The Chargers have been so inconsistent this year. I thought I had figured it out. I thought it was the alt thing, And it seemed to be, but then he came back. They played well. He went out. They played well again. And I was like, oh, maybe they figured it out. Nope.
Okay, let's move on. By the way, we all got that one wrong. We all picked the Chargers to win that game over Jacksonville.
Okay.
But one we got right was we all picked Buffalo over Tampa Bay, and we all had it as a really close game. And it was for a while. The end score was a little bit more, but still relatively close. I mean, regardless, there was no defense being played. Buffalo put 44 on them, 44 to 32, so a 12-point win. And this game basically starts and ends with Josh Allen accounting for 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing.
Incredible. Yeah. Yeah, he had really faded from the MVP discussion over the last month. After establishing himself early as the favorite, or 1 or 1A very early. And he had been fading. Not that he'd been playing poorly, he just hadn't been playing crazy good. And this put him right back in the discussion.
Yeah, and I played against him in fantasy and got absolutely demolished.
Oh, you had to play him this week, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal, dude. Brutal.
Totally brutal. He didn't start out well, that great. He had 2 picks on the day, and they were earlier, and it wasn't until later that they really pulled away, and he really went off. He rushed for 40 yards and the 3 touchdowns, and then he threw 3 more through the air. Like I said, to me, this kind of just starts and ends with Josh Allen.
I agree. And Josh, he tied Cam Newton for all-time rushing touchdowns by a quarterback.
Yep, and he's going to blow way past that.
I mean, he's only 28 or something. I mean, I'll find it in a sec here, but he's still, I mean, we're not even at the halfway mark of his career, I don't think,
Even if we are, we're just barely there.
29. Yeah, he hasn't even hit 30 yet.
Yeah, good Lord.
It's incredible, man.
Surprisingly, Tampa Bay had the time of possession advantage, 35 to 24.
They did run the ball well.
They did. I mean, they scored 32 points, so it's not like they got completely destroyed here. They were in the game for a while until they weren't, but they did some good things. I mean, Sean Tucker. Who is Sean Tucker?
Well, Sean Tucker's been on that team for a little while now, but he has never had more than 50. I think it was 55 yards, I think, in a game, something like that, something in the mid-50s. And he had, there was a one run, it was like a 50-yarder where Baker was sprinting down the field beside him, kind of, or a little bit over. I mean, it was priceless. It was a heck of a run. So yeah, Sean Tucker. I wouldn't rush to pick him up in fantasy because he's been in the league for a few years now, and this is the first time this has ever happened. But heck of a game.
19 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Now, the guy that I would think, Rashid White, would be who I would think would get more of the carries, and he only had 10 carries, but he still also ran for 50 yards. They ran for 202 yards. They had a good day on the ground.
Yeah, they were killing it, man. I mean, Baker had the one pick.
Yeah.
They played really well. It was not their defense, obviously, but the offense played great. It was just, you needed to be a lot better to beat the Bills this day.
Now, do the Bills, they didn't play New England again, right? They got them, they still have.
That is yet to come. Yeah, they have one more game against.
All right, because if they beat New England, then they'll be tied with them record-wise, and then we'll going to tiebreakers, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, which is why I would still take the field against the Patriots for the number 1 seed, because there's 3 teams that are effectively really in it against them. So they have the odds, and you have the Bills team that gets to play them again, and they're no joke. So yeah, but I understand your point, and it's definitely in play now, no doubt about it, which is wild to even think about.
Yep, it's definitely in play. Okay. Let's move on to Chicago 19, Minnesota 17. Me and Joe got this one right with Chicago. You had Minnesota, but I mean, it was a 2-point game, and we all had, tight scores. I had a 2-point game, just way more points. I had 30-28. But regardless, Chicago, another one of these games that came down to the end. There were so many last-second field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? Another game-ending field goal for the Bears, and there was a lot this week as a whole. Let's see here. I'm just looking at some of these numbers.
It was a pretty ugly game.
Yeah. But the Bears are in first place in the NFC North, aren't they?
The Bears are 7-3. It feels crazy shaky, but it's pretty awesome on their part. New coach, second-year quarterback, DeAndre Swift having a heck of a year. It's been fascinating. I mean, they feel they almost never. I don't remember more than once or twice this year coming out of a Bears game feeling like, oh yeah, they really took care of business. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, it's a last-second field goal, or they held on, or they came back in the fourth quarter, but they're doing it. They're getting it done. They're making improvements. I mean, they won this game by 2 points when Caleb Williams threw for 50%.
Yep. Well, they had a nice time of possession advantage, 36-23.
Yeah, that helps. Their run game's been great this year, man. I mean, DeAndre Swift's having a monster year. Kyle Mananjai, or however you say it, he didn't have a great game, but he's been
in the end
good
zone
this
every
year.
week. Seems like he gets in the end zone every week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's wild, man. And then the Vikings have a J.J. McCarthy problem.
Yes, they do. He kind of stinks.
I mean, there better be something in the tank. Now, it's early. I've learned never to bury quarterbacks too early in their careers, because this is only like the, seventh or eighth game he started now. So, but he is not good right now. And it's starting to show in the field. Justin Jefferson was being demonstrative in his frustration with McCarthy missing him a few times. So it's starting to boil over a little bit.
Yep. Aaron Jones returned to the field, did okay, 16 carries, 70 yards. And Jordan Mason went back to his complimentary role, but he had 45 yards. So they ran the ball okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like you said, a J.J. McCarthy problem. 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Yeah, that's the thrust of it right there. That's like the Vikings are a pretty decent team. They just don't have a good quarterback play right now. So they are screwed until either McCarthy turns it around or they figure something out. I mean, and what are they going to, Wentz is out for the year. Not that if you're turning to Carson Wentz to fix your quarterback issues, you're in trouble. And I don't even know who their backup is aside from Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I don't know who would come in.
And they're not going to go to him anyway. They're not giving up on their number one draft pick from 2 years ago already, but they do have a real issue there right now.
I'm not liking anything coming out of Minnesota right now, and I'm pretty down on them against almost anybody at this point.
Yeah, me too, man. Oh, and it's Max Brosmer, by the way.
Oh, good Lord. Well, no disrespect to Max, but I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's an issue.
So, yeah, the Bears, the first place Bears. How about that?
Incredible, man. Incredible. I think I picked them to finish second, and I thought that was crazy 3 weeks in, because they were not looking good. And now I might have undersold them. It's great.
All right. How about Davis Mills?
Yes.
Davis Mills, they were down 3-0 at halftime. By the way, talk about another game that was ugh.
Oh, yeah.
3-0 at halftime, and then fall back again, and then they win by 3. Another game-ending field goal.
Yes, another one on the list. Chalk it up.
Jeez, how many are there going to be? Another 3-point win, tie game late. 14 penalties in this one, 9 against the Titans. That didn't help at all, that's for sure. And yeah, David, I mean, Houston is another one of these teams. They're kind of like Jacksonville. I don't know what to think of them week to week. Now they're 5-5. I mean, that's what they seem to be, like a 500 team. Because week to week, you don't know what you're going to get. Even when Stroud was in there, you didn't know what you were going to get.
Yes. The only thing I will say is, unlike the Jaguars, who have been really up and down all year, the Texans were awful early and had to. I think they've now won 4 out of 5. I want to say, to get back to 500.
Yeah,
So there are signs of righting the ship, even though it's hard to make that case great when you eke out a win against the Titans. So I still don't know what to make of them. They're a really top-notch D with a really not top-notch offense, whether it's Mills or Stroud. It's been really spotty this year. They still have their offensive line issues. So I'm not betting on them to do anything major, but I think they're at least a decent team now. And it's funny that they're right now neck and neck with the Jaguars, the two of the more inconsistent teams in the league.
yep. Jaguars have one game on them. Nico Collins coming back is helpful, of course. He had 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown, but that's really all they did offensively. There wasn't a lot more than anybody else. Jaden Higgins caught a few balls, but they only got 76 carries on the ground, or 76 yards on the ground, 75. 23 carries, not a great average of 3.3. Mills threw for 274 yards, so that's pretty good.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah, no interception. The one touchdown.
Yeah, he was solid. It
Yeah,
just didn't add up to points for some reason.
yeah. Just I don't know. Weird game in Tennessee. What can you say?
Yeah, they're just brutal.
They are.
I mean, Cam Ward wasn't awful, so that's something, you know?
Right. He threw the ball 37 times.
Yeah, I mean, his percentage wasn't great, but not pathetic or anything. You know, if you're looking for something in Titanland, Cam Ward was okay, and that's better than he's been a lot this year, so it's something. I don't know what happened. Tony Pollard is they're just keying on him because they can't do anything else, I'm guessing, at this point in the season.
Yep.
Because he's 10 carries for 22 yards after being pretty awesome for the first like 6-7 games. So anyway, yeah, they're just a mess. And you're just crossing your fingers and hoping moving forward for them if you're a fan.
Let's move on to another game decided by a field goal because almost all of them just feels like they all were. Another game went to overtime, decided with a field goal. Carolina 30, Atlanta 27. Carolina sweeps the season series. And, oh my goodness, Bryce Young throws, and he threw for 448 yards.
Incredible, man.
3 touchdowns, no picks.
And he was looking awful for a little while there. I mean, he's had ups and downs this season, but he had a couple real tough games in a row. And he lit them up, man. I mean, I didn't know I didn't have a thought in my head that he was capable of this kind of game at this point in his career. Because he was a guy. Yeah, I mean, he was a guy that you're lucky if you get like a 17 for 24 for 179 yards and no turnovers. You know what I mean? That's kind of the guy seemed like he was turning into. But this was huge, and the Falcons have had a really good pass D this year. So this was not against some weak sisters of the poor pass.
And at the beginning of the year, you were talking about their pass rush. Well, they got 5 sacks in this game.
Exactly. This was no joke. So. And Ted McMillan, by the way, was the recipient of a lot of this. I mean, He had a monster game.
He's a stud.
Absolute stud. Signs of life from Xavier Legette, by the way, which, my goodness.
Just so people know, Ted had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, what a beast, man. I mean, absolute beast. They didn't get anything out of their run game, surprisingly, but boy, did they come through in the pass game. Just shocking. I would have taken, I can't even imagine. I would have taken the under on 200 pass yards for Bryce Young, let alone 4.
For some reason, they just seem to have the Falcons number.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did get half the score right, Craig.
What do we do here? Let's see. Oh, wait, didn't you say 30-0?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Panthers portion right.
Yeah, you were right on this, and me and Joe were both wrong. We both picked Atlanta. But yeah, you picked Carolina and absolutely got it right. By the way, we all picked Houston and we all got that one right. But yeah, you picked it 30-0 just to be a repeat of the last game.
Yeah,
Oh, so
exactly.
it's funny. So in 2 games against Atlanta, they scored 60 points.
Isn't that something, man? They are 60-27 in 2 games.
Wow.
Hmm.
For Atlanta, Bijan rushed for 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Drake London had 119 yards. But the story is Michael Penix. I think he's out for the year now, right?
Out for the year. Yep. Too bad because he was showing. I mean, look at the game he was having, man. 13 for 16 for 175 yards.
Yeah. And now they turn to Kirk Cousins. But, oh, man. He's brutal.
He's brutal. They blew it. They absolutely blew it, Craig, in retrospect, although I do understand coming into the season. I do get where they were coming from, even though I disagree with it. But they blew forever being able to trade Kirk Cousins for anything of value now.
Yeah, he was 6 for 14.
I would be surprised if you got anything less than a second-round draft pick for Kirk Cousins in the preseason, and now they get nothing. It's like one of those like fifth-round picks with a sixth-round swap or some, you know what I mean? Like, he's not even going to be it's just fascinating how their fortunes have fallen. And they held on to him in case something like this happened because they thought they were going to be contenders, and they're not. So now they have old man Cousins playing in games that don't matter and with no hope of a return in the future.
Yeah, they're 3-7 now.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, they're completely toast. And
don't look now, Carolina is 6-5.
Incredible, dude. And just marching. I can't believe it, man. Like that, they are a fascinating team, and
they're not gonna strike fear to anybody or do anything in the playoffs, or maybe not even make the playoffs. But they are a viable team now.
100%, absolutely, yeah. You're not just rolling over them anymore, and that's incredible to see. And for Bryce Young to put up 400 plus yards is just astonishing and good for him. Because, I mean, I was getting ready to – I really thought he was heading for the scrap heap eventually here. And that one game makes me rethink everything.
Let's move on to Green Bay 27, the Giants 20. Another loss for the Giants. But this game was tied at halftime, 13-13. Green Bay is still not playing well. Something is wrong in Green Bay land. They pulled it out, but 27-20 over a Giants team that's got Winston and all these injuries and all these problems and firing the coach. Although part of it could be attributed to the new coach bump.
Right, absolutely.
But still.
Yeah, still. I mean, this is typical Green Bay this year, They're a good team, but they struggle at times in ways that surprise you. And it was fun to see Jameis play, and he didn't have a Jameis explosion of turnovers, but he did turn the ball over. I don't know what was that?
It was a late interception that basically cost them the game. They were going down to win the game.
Right on.
And that led to Green Bay's final score.
Yeah, good old Jameis.
They were going down. I don't know if they were going down to take the lead or tie it, but it was in the end zone. The interception happened in the end zone, so they were right there.
Yes. Oh, and that fumble was when he got sacked on the last play of the game.
Right. But that was, I mean, at that point, he's just trying to even, I think.
Exactly.
But, tell you what, time of possession, 35-24 in favor of the Giants.
Yeah, all the stats except for a slight edge in penalty yards and penalties, 6-5 for 77 yards to 48 for the Packers. Every other stat, it favored the Giants. The total yards they had by 40. I mean, this looked like a game they should have won, but the Packers pulled it off.
Yep, Tyrone Tracy looked good. 88
Yeah,
yards.
he's a good player. I don't think nobody wants to make him their franchise running back, but he's a good player.
Yep. And Devin Singletary, the ghost of Devin Singletary, scored 2 touchdowns.
That's right. So you can't count out Devin Singletary. I mean, he did have 2.8 yards a carry, but he got in the end zone enough times to match his average yards per carry.
Right. But yeah, so like you said, Green Bay is kind of mystifying. Like you said, there's no doubt they're good. I just don't know how good. And they are now, they are behind Chicago in that division.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And the Giants, man, they are heading towards a dog fight for the number 1 overall pick here.
Yeah, they're gonna have. Did you think they're gonna win one more game even?
I mean, it's possible. They have been in the lead in the second half in like 8 games this year, which is just insane.
Yeah, I think we went over this last week where they had like 3 games where they were ahead in the fourth quarter with like a 95% chance of winning, and they lost all 3.
They've been inventing ways to lose. So, I mean, if they can actually just hang on to 1 or 2 of those, absolutely. But I'm not going to, I'd have to look at the schedule, but I highly doubt I'll be picking them in more than 1 or 2 games the rest of the year. And probably not more than 1 that would be like playing the Titans at home or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. So we'll have to see, but yeah, they're going to be right there, top 5 pick for sure, maybe top 3, maybe number 1.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And on top of everything else, they benched Abdul Carter for oversleeping for a meeting this week, which
yep. And apparently he's done a bunch of times this year, and Dable never did anything about it. And this new guy finally did. Kafka finally benched him, but he only benched him for 1 drive.
Or a series or something. Yeah.
It worked out to be like 6 plays. And then they showed up on Monday Night Raw last night, and I don't know what Scadaboo is thinking. He's in a walking boot. He's riding around on a cart, and he's in the front row, and they obviously WWE scripted him to get pushed by Dominic Mysterio.
Unbelievable.
What the hell are you doing?
That's insane. I can't believe that happened. I just cannot believe that happened.
He's a month away he just had surgery a month ago on that foot that was bent the wrong way, and he's at Raw in the front row getting pushed. And gets in a spot.
It's astonishing that they would do that. I can't believe it. I cannot believe. Listen, the WWE, I don't blame them. They're going to take the street cred any way they can get it.
Oh yeah.
But
and Abdul Carter was there too, and that's just not a good look for him considering what he just had happen with the getting bent.
That means the filming must have been at night because he wasn't asleep.
Right, the film. Yeah, of course, it was Monday Night Raw. It was in Madison Square Garden. And the Eagles were there too, and that was a dumb idea to announce that they were there because they were in New York, so they got booed out of the freaking building.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. That was ridiculous that they tried that.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean was there. They put him on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. I mean, maybe that's what they wanted because they were Miss JB. Maybe they were just making a heel for the night,
Yeah, for whatever reason. But yeah, he was there. I don't know if anybody else was there, but he was the only one that they had his name up with the little eagle symbol, and they showed it. I mean, apparently they showed it in the arena because as soon as he came up, the boos rained down.
I love it. And by the way, the whole thing started with a comedian that I've been following for quite some time named Andrew Schultz.
Apparently he's a big WWE guy. He hosted some WWE roast event, and he's been doing a lot of stuff with them.
He's a really funny guy, and he is. You want to see something funny? Just look up Andrew Schultz crowd work clips because he is one of the kings of crowd work. He knows cultures. There's the really bad comedian thing of somebody makes fun of you in the crowd, see that it's white, black, Latino, Asian, and make a generic race joke that's poorly thought out and lame and stupid. And that's the vast majority of bad comedians. Andrew Schultz will see an Asian fella and know just by looking at him that he's Malaysian and know something specific about that culture and say something really funny that only a Malaysian would really get. And that guy's rolling on the floor in the crowd.
Right. That's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. And so to see him stirring up things at a WWE event did not surprise me very much. That was pretty cool.
They had a whole scrum and everything.
I mean, I just can't believe they did like Scatterboo did that in the boot. But yeah, the whole thing was kind of priceless.
All right, let's move on here.
Yes.
Okay. My opinion, the best team in the NFL is the Los Angeles Rams, and to stake that claim, they had to win this game. It was hard fought, but they come out on top 21-19 over Seattle in the game of the week that we were all looking forward to. I actually did pick the Rams, and you and Joe picked Seattle, so I got this one right. I've been on the Rams all year.
No doubt.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going nothing to say that's going to turn me off of them, obviously.
No, and nor should it. I mean, I will still dispute them being the number one team because there's another team that beat them that has the same record. But
I think if they play now, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, it's easy to say, but the actual fact is in the books that they lost. So
that is absolutely true.
But I understand.
I wouldn't say the Giants are better than the Eagles, though, and they beat them.
No, but they don't have the same record.
Right. Anyway, 21, Seattle 19.
Yeah, listen, Seattle should have won this game 45 different ways. This was not actually the game to hang your hat on trying to make a case for the Rams being the best team in the league because they should have lost by 15 points because Darnold threw four interceptions and they still only lost by 2 points.
Yeah. Yep. But like you said, going back to facts, they did lose the game.
Oh, no doubt. But if you're going to make fact assumptions about their level, then we can make an off-book assumption that they should have lost this game 12 different ways.
Yeah, but I don't think it's off-book. I think it's without a doubt. I think the Rams are without a doubt the best team in the NFL, not the NFC, the NFL. I think they are clearly the number one team in football.
Yeah, not even close.
No,
they just squeaked by the Seattle Seahawks at home when the opposing quarterback threw 4 picks, Greg.
Yeah, but you picked Seattle to win the game, and so did Joe.
That has nothing to do with what you're saying.
Yeah, but Seattle is a really good team. Seattle was 7-2 coming in. It's not
no doubt.
So everybody thought it was going to be a close game. Like I picked the Rams to win, but I picked a 5-point game. You picked a 2-point game. I mean, it was going to be close. Seattle's really, really good, and there's a case to be made that Seattle could still be the number 2 or number 3 team in the NFL. They're a good team. It's not like they're not going to blow them out. They're not going to blow out the Eagles either. I just think they are clearly better than both of them. I
can't repeat enough that's hilarious when they already lost to them.
Yeah, I don't hold that much at all. That doesn't mean much at all to me. Like almost nothing. Because it was so long ago. The Rams are way better now than they were then. And the Eagles, I can't ever think that their offense is going to do much. And the Rams offense is amazing. And their defense is finally coming up. And they probably have right now, I think, you think he's the MVP leader? Stafford still? I mean, he only had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't, they did get the win, no picks, and his numbers, even with just the 2 touchdowns and the yardage, his numbers are still better than or as good as anybody's.
Listen, this isn't the week to trumpet him so much, but the season has been incredible. So let's just see the current odds, because Josh Allen put himself back in there too, and we know they love to vote for Josh.
Right.
Let's see.
Josh did have the 2 picks.
Absolutely, but he had 6 touchdowns to offset it. So
yeah. I'll tell you what, honestly, the MVP race is going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be, I mean, it is tight, man. And there is no, oh, here we go. It looks like Stafford has taken the lead.
Okay.
And I think he should, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is, I'm trying to see where this is coming from. But here it is. Stafford plus 150. Drake May plus 185. Josh Allen plus 450. And then Jonathan Taylor, who we know doesn't have a chance in hell because he's not a quarterback, at plus 700.
Yeah, it's funny. Drake May right there. Holy crap.
Yeah, man. And he should be. I mean, that's, I would put them 1 and 2 right now, too, over Josh Allen or anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen's capable of doing another 6 touchdowns next week. So we'll see what happens if that happens. But yeah.
Yeah. And all these guys are helped by the chance that Lamar Jackson has no shot this year.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So we talked about the yard. I'll tell you who really stood out for them was Kyron Williams. 12 carries, 91 yards, averaging 7.6 a carry. That's huge.
Yeah, he's a player, man. Nah, he's so he's not the most exciting guy. He's not the most biggest name, but dude can play, and he's a top 7, 8 running back in the league probably, and you can make a case for where you want to put him, but he's real good, man. And you're not going to have this team is not going to have an issue at running back with this guy as long as he's healthy because he can play.
Do you think on a neutral field, if the Rams were playing Philly, who would be favored? I think the Rams would be favored.
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I think you might be right.
I think if it's in Philly, Philly would be favored. If it's in LA, the LA would be favored.
I agree with that 100%. Neutral field, I'm guessing it's probably like a -1 or 1.5.
It might be a pick 'em. Honestly, it might be a pick 'em.
Yeah. It's tight, man. And listen, I get where you're coming from because the Rams have been playing really well. I do. But I am sticking to the fact that the Eagles beat them, which I understand also what you're saying about it being early, but they did beat them.
Yes, absolutely.
But listen, we're splitting hairs because it's 2 of the best teams in the league.
Absolutely.
And even as I'm saying, they beat a Seattle team where the quarterback threw 4 picks. They're the team that picked him 4 times. So
true. Yeah, I mean, Santos still threw for 279 yards. Kenneth Walker emerged finally, as I've been waiting all year since I have him. But yeah, it was, to be honest, the game itself, watching it, was a little bit of a letdown. It wasn't that great of a game. We were all expecting it to be much more high scoring. I mean, I had 32-27. You had 28-26. Joe had 37-34. And it's 21-19?
Yeah, it was a surprise. What kind of got spelled out better for me watching this game was that both of these teams have better defenses than I think all of us gave them credit for in our scores.
Right. Seattle's defense is really good. They might even be slightly better than the Rams defense, although I think they're both very, very good. I would pick Seattle's defense, but the Rams obviously have the better offense.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And I would pick Seattle if they played at home tomorrow, but I would pick the Rams the next time at home.
Here's another thing too. Does this change your Seattle in any way, shape, or form to you? Because it doesn't for me.
It does just a little bit, because one, they didn't beat they didn't win, so there's another loss on the record, and also there are some cracks in the Darnold armor. I mean, you don't just toss off a 4 interception game and not get looked at a little differently.
True.
And I'm not saying he stinks. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying he's going to go back into first round bust again, but he does this here and there. He did it in the playoffs last year and he did it again now. So this does happen to Darnold. So you got to factor that in big games moving forward.
On the whole, though, he still has had a much better year than you were expecting, and even me. I wasn't as down on him as you were, but I still wasn't expecting the kind of year he's been having. He's had a really good year.
Absolutely. I mean, even now, all of a sudden, though, before last week, he had 17 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and that was awesome. Now he has 17 and 10. That's not so awesome.
No, it's not.
So listen, I still think he's good. I'm not throwing him back in the scrap heap. My opinion has changed immeasurably over the course of this season for how good of a quarterback he is. But he went from being great to not being great. So I'm just sitting back and watching a little bit now. So it does change my opinion on them just a little bit because there's a thing with big game. Nobody's going to start calling him Big Name Sam until he does something different in a big game.
Right. Right now he's Kirk Cousins. Remember Kirk Cousins couldn't win the primetime game?
Totally, dude. That's perfect. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on it moving forward is all I'm saying.
And that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Right on.
Okay, let's move on because I want to get to a game. If I told you one team had 488 yards of offense and another team had 281 yards of offense, and that same team that had 488 yards of offense had a 34 to 25 minute advantage for time of possession advantage, who do you think would have won 41 to 22?
Yeah, I take the one that put up all those numbers.
Yeah, and they lost 41 to 22. How? And then the reason why is the stat that I omitted, which is 17 penalties for 130 yards to the Cardinals compared to one penalty for San Francisco. San Francisco beats the Cardinals 41 to 22. They shot themselves in the foot.
Absolutely incredible, man. This was an astonishing game. And I mean, Brissett set an all-time NFL record for completions in a game. He was 47 for 57. Like you said, it's insane. By the way, quick fun fact. He broke, there were two people tied for the record at 45 before him. Do you want to take a guess at who they were?
Peyton Manning?
No, which I would have guessed immediately like you did.
Tony Romo?
No. Let me give you years real quick. Okay. So one happened in 94. The other happened, which is amazing, by the way, that happened in 94, when the game was completely different. And then the other happened in 19.
Bledsoe?
Boom.
Aaron Rodgers?
No, good guess.
19. Brady?
No, he's still an active quarterback.
Oh. I don't know.
This would have been tough, dude. I never would have got this. Jared Goff with the Rams.
Okay. Yeah, I would have known that would be way down the list.
Yeah.
I pulled Bledsoe out of my ass.
That's pretty good, man. That is real good. Because that is, I would have never guessed that would have happened in the 90s, period, with the difference in the game back then. So, yeah, that's how good Bledsoe was back in his prime.
47 for 57. That's great. 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks. The penalties, 2 picks and a fumble loss. So you lose a turnover battle, you turn the ball over 3 times, and you have 17 penalties for 130 yards, and that's how you lose. When you just outdo them in every aspect of the game. Michael Wilson. Who the hell is Michael Wilson?
Yeah, I know the name, but
15 catches.
Yeah. Boy, if you had him in a PPR this week, you were running right to the bank.
15 catches, 185 yards.
Unfreaking believable, man. Unbelievable.
Trey McBride, 115 yards and a touchdown. Greg Dortch had a touchdown. I love that name.
Yeah, Dortch.
They only ran the ball for 36 yards, which is kind of crazy. But, Brissett, like we said, 452 yards, 3 turnovers, and they lose this game where Brock Purdy throws for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. McCaffrey runs for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, and catches another one because that's what he does.
Yep.
Kittle had 2 touchdowns, but again, nothing crazy offensively for San Francisco. It's just that, Arizona shot themselves in the foot. And they're not a good team. They're now 3-7. They're done.
Yeah, they're toast, man. They are one of these teams that has been competitive at times. They do things like this where they put up incredible numbers, but they're not competitive. They're an interesting team, but they don't win. So it's they are just they're a scrap heap team for sure.
Yep. San Francisco, I mean they're 7-4 now. I don't love them, but they're formidable.
Yeah, agreed.
They're nothing really to get all excited about, though.
No. I mean, they have so many key injuries on defense that the fact that they're 7-4 is a credit to Shanahan and the rest of that team. They did it with a backup quarterback for about 6 weeks, Mac Jones. So it's a credit to them to be where they are right now. But yeah, I don't think anybody's scared of them.
Christian McCaffrey is pretty much like their entire offense. It's crazy. If you watch the game, everything goes to him. Like every play is either him running or him as the target.
Yeah, he has more. What am I trying to say? He has more touches through, I guess, week 11 or whatever it was. They showed this halfway through the game. Than the only person that has had more since 2019 is himself when he was on the Panthers. So yeah, you called it right. Everything is funneled through him. You know what you have to stop, and most teams still can't stop him. So it's an interesting offense.
All right. We both got that one right. Joe actually got that one wrong, picking Arizona.
Okay.
And then another one all three of us got right is Baltimore over Cleveland. We all thought it would be much bigger, a much bigger win. They won 23-16. I picked 34-14. Joe picks 38-17. You picked 26-16. You were the closest. You had 16 directly right for Cleveland. But Baltimore, I mean, they just kind of took care of business, but nothing really crazy. This was a late touchdown by Mark Andrews to win this game. And
which was a fake tush push, by the way.
Yeah, it was. And it wasn't very impressive. Although their defense continues to be impressive. They held their total yards for the Browns was 187 total.
Yeah. No, and listen, the story of this game was that the Browns were winning at halftime. They were up 13-3 and then in the second quarter and then 16-10 at the half. But Dylan Gabriel, who was playing pretty well, got knocked out with a concussion. And guess who came in and looked like, anybody that thought he should have been playing earlier? Holy crap. Shedeur Sanders put up one of the worst stat lines you'll ever see a quarterback put up, and he looked as bad as the stat line.
4 for 16 passing, 47 yards and a pick.
I mean, that's brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal. And he's starting this week.
Yeah.
So pick up the D that they're playing against right now.
Yeah, if you can. Holy crap. That's true.
Yeah. And Myles Garrett proved that he is a man among boys once again with 4 sacks against this Raven team.
Are they ever going to release him? Like, let him go to another team?
I don't think so.
Is being wasted on this team. 4 more sacks. This guy is incredible.
He's an absolute monster. What they ought to do is trade him to the Anaheim Angels, and so he can waste the rest of his career with Mike Trout.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Just like to be fair to the guy, trade him somewhere.
Yeah, man. I know. Now, I will say, nobody held a gun to his head to sign that last big contract extension because he could have been out of there by now at 29 years old. He could have walked 3 times by now. So I don't know. Maybe he's got a little bit of Trout in him where he just doesn't want to leave the sinking ship, and credit to him in some sense. But boy, is it sad to watch one of the best players of all time just waste away on a loser for a decade.
And that's not hyperbole. You are absolutely right. All time. All time great.
He really is. I mean, he's, the people that he was in the list with for getting the speed of getting to 100 sacks was Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Smith, and Reggie White.
Yeah. So there's, yeah.
That's all you need to know, my man, right? I mean, come on. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, he's in the midst of a 4-year contract extension that he signed that keeps him with the team through 2030.
Oh, my God. What are you doing?
I know, man. I know. It's crazy. So there it is. I mean, he's not going. I mean, the odds of him going anywhere are very slim. Very, very slim.
Lamar Jackson had a putrid day, 14 of 25, 193 yards and 2 picks.
Yeah, man. It was the run game that pulled this game out for the Ravens.
Yeah, Derrick Henry had 100 yards and a touchdown. Mark Andrews had a 35-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen it, go check that play out. It was a fake tush push. It was priceless.
And, but nobody caught anything of any significance. They've had 78 yards, but nobody had more than 3 catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not much going on offense. And, I guess, Cleveland's defense is pretty good. So I guess maybe we should have given more credit. Plus, it was in Cleveland. But still, I thought Baltimore was going to run through. But, bottom line is they got the win. They've won 4 in a row now, and they're now 5-5, and they're coming. They're coming for Pittsburgh, and they're going to overtake them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that the odds look pretty good. But it's not like the Ravens have all of a sudden become world beaters. I mean, they eked out a win over the Browns. So I'm not ready to anoint them much of anything yet. But the fact that their big competition is the Steelers, I'll take the Ravens.
Right, exactly. Speaking just in terms of the division, I think they're going to overtake it.
No, I'm with you. I really am. I get where you're coming from for sure.
All right. Next one. Big statement game that we all got wrong. Denver, 22. Kansas City, 19. Kansas City is now 5-5. And I am going to say something that I never would have thought. They might not make the playoffs.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation, Craig. And you're right. I mean, it's possible now. I still would pick them to make it, but
yes, me too.
I might be wrong. I mean, it's very possible they're not going to make the playoffs. They're out right now,
They're not getting the division. Denver's 9-2 now.
It would have to be an epic collapse by Denver, and even if that epic collapse happened, the Chiefs would have to reel off something like 7 straight.
Yeah. So not happening.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. It's crazy. They have the same record as the Texans. Think about how we were talking about the Texans half an hour ago.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy.
And even if you want to go with penalties and people, everything with the referees on Kansas City side, this and that, more last year than this year, but now it's mentioned more in like kind of, laughing, as a joke more than anything. But Denver had 10 penalties against them for 147 yards, and they still won.
Yeah. Now the Chiefs did have 10 penalties of their own, but for less than half the yardage, 69. Yeah. So that's crazy. 20 penalties in this game it's supposed to be 2 of the best teams in the league. It's a sloppy game, but yeah, this was a statement win for the Broncos. This was huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you what, Bo Nix, I have my doubts about him sometimes, but he came up big. Once again, he came up big late. He seems to be a guy, for whatever reason, who is much better in the second half than he is in the first, and then at his best in the fourth quarter. I guess that's the best trait to have.
Yeah, right.
You're not going to be great all the time. The time that you are great is in the fourth quarter. But he's got some great fourth quarter overall numbers. And once again, he was really good in the fourth quarter. And, pulled this one out.
Yeah, I'm with you. And another last-second field goal, by the way, we didn't mention.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Another last-second field goal.
Incredible. And Nix, yeah, he's a fascinating guy. Like I'm kind of like obsessed with him in a way of trying to figure out what exactly he is. He is what he definitely is super clutch. He has been, you don't win all the, I mean, they have had close game after comeback after close game after comeback all season long. They've now won, what is it, 8 or 9 in a row?
8 in a row they've won.
8 in a row. And you don't get that without clutch play from your quarterback. So, and he does that. But he'll also, he'll throw 7 incompletions in a row where 3 of the guys were wide open sometimes. So I haven't figured him out yet, and I don't think anybody has. But boy, like you said, man, if you're going to be a streaky guy, if you're best in the clutch, then boom, that's where you want to be.
He's like Eli Manning without as many interceptions.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's not bad. That is not bad.
Eli Manning was very good in the clutch, but otherwise was not. He was pretty much hot garbage. But
Yes.
he had a lot more picks. But in terms of that trait of being good in the clutch, it's reminding me of Eli a little bit.
That's pretty good. I kind of like that, actually.
Mahomes, 276, a touch and a pick. Kareem Hunt was okay. Kelsey had 91 yards and a touch. Not much else. And it's weird now because Kansas City, when they got all their offensive pieces back, we were ready to put the rocket ship on them. But now they're back and they still don't look that great.
No. I mean, they have a good D. They have a decent offense, but it has not taken off like we all thought it would. I mean, I was right there on that bandwagon for sure. I really thought Rice coming back and all the other pieces, Thornton establishing himself as a deep threat, Worthy in his second year, Hollywood Brown being Hollywood Brown, playing 8 games a year but being valuable when he plays, although he has been healthy this year, give him credit. But none of it's added up to them being the top-notch Chiefs. I don't get it. I mean, they are, like you said, they are in danger of missing the playoffs. In fact, I think this is worth a little sidetrack here. Let's take a look at their schedule and see what games we would pick them to win or lose. How about that?
Kansas City?
Yeah. Because, man, I mean, they're 5-5, Craig. I can't get over it. So here we go. Now, let's not pick this one yet because we're going to do it in the next show. But they have a tough one this week against the Colts. We'll hold off our thoughts on that one. Then they have to go to Dallas, which all of a sudden looks like a tougher game than it was the whole rest of the season. Then they have the Texans come to Kansas City, not a pushover. They have a division game with the Chargers. Both teams are mystifying. Don't know what to think of that. And I'll let you go back and say what you think about all these then. And then they play the Titans, the one easy game on their schedule, and then they finish the season against the Broncos again. So forget the Colts game, Chiefs Cowboys in Dallas.
I think I got to go Dallas.
It's interesting that we're even having to think about that all of a sudden, right?
Not only that,
last week I would have picked the Chiefs 47-3. But not now.
Now I'm at the point, depending on how they play next week, that I would, this is going to be weird to say, I would expect Dallas to beat them.
I'm not quite there yet, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Like if let's just hypothetically say, I'm not giving away what we're going to do for the next one, but let's hypothetically, and whatever happens and they beat Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's in Dallas as well.
Yep.
If they beat Philly, I think I would pick them to beat Kansas City on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and listen, if they beat Philly and the Chiefs lose to the Colts, I think I might be with you. I mean, that's wild to even think about. That's right. But
now, maybe more likely or whatever. Philly's, I don't even know the odds there, but Philly wins that game, I might go back to Kansas City. But it depends on this game is more about how Dallas looks to me than how Kansas City looks, because I think we know what they are. This is what they are. This is not new. They've been this all year. Dallas may have changed a little bit and changed our perception, so we don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. If it was in Kansas City, it'd be a lot easier, but it's in Dallas, makes it harder.
Yeah, I agree. Then you have the Texans at Kansas City.
I think I would go Kansas City there.
I would and I would probably go Texans if it was in Houston.
Right.
Chargers at Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs there, but that could change in 3 weeks.
It could change in 3 weeks, but right now I would go Chiefs because, as many questions I have about Kansas City, I have more questions about about the Chargers.
Yeah, right there with you. And then the Chiefs at the Titans, that's the only easy one for me.
Yep.
And then Broncos at Chiefs.
Broncos.
Yeah, right now I'm taking the Broncos. A lot could change in 6 weeks, but right now I'm taking the Broncos. So,
even on the road.
Yeah. I mean, we're not picking them to go any better than 500, which is, that ends them up around 9-8 or 8-9.
Yeah. I probably would, chances are the Dallas game will be thinking that they're going to win that one because chances are, again, not giving anything away for next one. But if Philly wins as expected against Dallas next week, then Kansas City could go in there and definitely get that win. And then all of a sudden they're more like 10-6.
Right. And that's probably the more expected outcome, but none of it would surprise me now. I'm with you. And, and if they get just dusted by the Colts somehow, then that changes everything too.
Yeah. 8-9 is on the table for them.
It is, which is absolutely wild, man. I can't believe we're saying it, but it is.
And the playoffs are not a lock, for sure. If anything, they might be more likely that they don't make it than they do.
No doubt, man. It's crazy. I can't believe we're having this conversation, but it is absolutely valid.
Yep. All right. We're going to move on. We were just talking about your Eagles.
Here we go.
Yes, a 16-9 win against Detroit. This is absolutely the best defense. Their defense has finally turned that corner, and they are dominating on defense. And the Eagles are riding it because their offense is still up and down. I don't know what the hell is going on. Right when you think they figured it out, they come up in 2 games in a row where they score 13 and 16.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, man. So yeah, there are big pros and big cons from this game. Their offense is just mystifying.
Yeah, just throw that offensive coordinator's name out the window again. Let's not even name him anymore.
Yeah, no, I forgot his name again already. And I don't even know what to say about their offense, so I'm going to focus on the good for a minute here.
Yeah.
Their defense, like you said, is arguably the best in football. And the Jalen Phillips trade, which I liked when it happened, I had no idea it was going to make the amount of impact it did so quickly and so dramatically. He is an absolute monster on this D.
Yeah.
Absolute monster.
Yeah, their defense is incredible.
Yeah, he's been something else, man, and it is huge. Plus, they got all kinds of people back from injury, and their defense is really coming together at the right time. Even Adoree Jackson is playing well, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's all coming together for this D right now. They've, they held the Packers to 10 and or what was it? Packers to. I lost it now, but they held the freaking Lions to 9 points the week. We were just talking last week about how Dan Campbell took over play calling, and they better stick with that because they put up 44 points, and the Eagles hold them to 9 points. It's crazy. That's a killer offense to hold to 9 points. Holding the Packers down was awesome, but not quite as impressive because the Packers have been held down by other teams. Not hardly anybody is holding down the Lions. So this was an impressive defensive effort by the Eagles. They have a championship D. They just need to pull this offense together between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, we're outgained again, 317 to 272. The offense is mystifying. I don't get it. And AJ Brown again is talking smack again, and it seems like every other week he's not satisfied with a win. He's more worried about his participation.
It sounds exactly like you, Craig. And not just you. I don't mean to point it at you, but a lot of people with this team. Like, they beat the Rams, but you want to put the Rams over them because you see holes in this offense. That's exactly what AJ's been saying.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't get it. And we had another, they actually got stopped on the tush push.
They did. They got, it's funny because everybody points out all the penalties that should go against the Eagles in the tush push, and they're right. I mean, it happens, no doubt. But,
Then Detroit got called for it.
no, the Eagles got called for the one I'm talking about where they were hand fighting in the neutral zone.
Oh, right.
Yes. This was, there was none that I saw in this game that should have been called on the Eagles because they always show it when there is.
Right.
But in this case, the Eagles guard, Steen did a absolutely legal thing by shoving the, defensive tackle's, hand out of the neutral zone and got called for a false start. So for once it went against them.
Right. Now, I think that their defense is phenomenal. And I don't think it would have changed the outcome. But that was not pass interference.
Oh, no doubt. No, that was a garbage call.
That,
But I'm also not going to cry any tears for the Lions. I've seen enough bad calls go
you-
against my team over the years.
You're not going to cry any tears. As I always say, you don't apologize for a win. But that, for me watching, even if I wasn't rooting against the Eagles, I would just want to see an exciting drive to possibly win the game. See what happens there, the drama of it.
Yes.
And we got robbed of that because of that terrible call. That was just, if anything, it was offensive. He totally pushed off. But I wasn't expecting that. But I wasn't expecting the defense to get called either, though.
No, it was an astonishing. I'm so used to that not happening, getting favorable calls like that I just couldn't believe they got one like that. I mean, I'll take it all day long, but it sucked for sure. It was a terrible call.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the other way around, you would be beside yourself, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it was like that in the Super Bowl in 18.
Right. But yeah, so I did not, that end of it sucked. But again, I think even if they got that call, I believed enough in the Eagles defense and saw enough from them that they probably still wouldn't have scored, but it would have been nice to see. That's all.
No, I'm with you 100%, man. Absolutely. And listen, I think they were going to stuff him anyway, like you said. Who knows? But it was a terrible call. I will not dispute that in the least. And by the way, because we just brought up Jared Goff earlier in having his shared record broken by what's his face, Jacoby Brissett this weekend for completions all time. The Eagles held him to his worst completion percentage of his career. Greg.
Yeah, 14 of 37.
14 of 37 is insane, man. He was, what was it? I have it somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to find it fast enough, but I think he was something crazy like 2 for 18 in the second half. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember. I'm not going to be able to find it fast enough. I'll see if I can find it while we're talking about other stuff. But it was insane. The level of, poor play they made Jared Goff, because Jared Goff's a very good quarterback, and they made him look awful. So that's a big credit to their
74 yards on the ground. That's it. Although Gibbs did get them through the air 107 yards, so he still got his.
Yeah, Jamison Williams and Gibbs were the entire offense for the Lions, and they both had some big plays that almost really hurt the Eagles.
Yeah, but those are good players. Those are, you're going to expect that. Saquon, 3.2 average, 83 yards, but 26 carries. He's getting the carries again, which is good. So you got to think some more breakouts are coming. But I mean, Detroit, they lost the game. It's not like they had a bad defensive game either. They still held the Eagles to 16 points as well. So
No doubt.
The Eagles are not going to light up a bunch of stats either.
No doubt. And the other big news here in this game that's terrible for the Eagles is Lane Johnson has a Liz Frank injury and is out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And now, luckily, they have a good backup in Fred Johnson, but he's not a future Hall of Famer.
Right.
So that's going to hurt a little bit. Now, Lane's been in and out all year, so Fred Johnson has played almost as much as him. So he's ready to go. But anytime you lose a future Hall of Famer out of your starting lineup, it's not good. So hopefully he'll be back for the playoffs. It sounds like he will be, but it's just a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
All right, well, on to Monday night, on to my team. 33-16, they go over the 30 mark again, and then look at that, they win. Every win has been
It's their magic number, man. It really is.
every win is over 30 points. Although this game they only needed 20 points, but whatever. Yeah, it's the Raiders, so I'm not getting too excited, but everything you wanted to see, you saw. That's all I can say is, like, if you were going to go against the Raiders and have a good game against them, as you would expect, this is what it should look like, and that's exactly what it did look like. And again against the Raiders, so I'm not getting too excited about the defense, but I am encouraged. At the very least, I can say I'm encouraged. They looked a lot better because before these trades and everything, and before they went on the bye, Geno Smith, I would expect Geno Smith to throw for 300 yards and look like Joe Montana because they did that with everybody.
Right.
And for once, it didn't work. Didn't happen.
No, this was a heck of a debut for the new look Cowboys D.
Six new starters.
Yeah. I mean, and you got a sack and a half out of Quinnen Williams. Welcome to Dallas. Overshawn was back. He wasn't awesome, but he played and he was there. And, that's huge. What's his face? The rookie Ravel played.
Yep. He was in there a little bit, but again, all those guys were on like a snap count.
Yeah, as they should be right now, but it's just huge for the, just bodies and good bodies are coming back. So it's fascinating, man. Listen, like you said, it's the Raiders. It's hard to take much from this other than they did what they should do against the Raiders. And it's nothing. You can't take anything but positivity out of this.
Right.
For the Cowboys.
Yeah. They got to Geno for 4 sacks, which is the most they've had in a game this year. Like you said, Quinnen got 1.5 really. The rookie got 1, Azaraku, who's really playing a lot better. And I think the fact that Quinnen Williams is there now with Kenny Clark, that's a pretty good interior of defensive tackles.
It's really good. No, I'm with you. I mean, that's whew. Yeah, I don't like it as an Eagle fan. That's a tough interior. And look at the rush yardage, by the way, for the Ravens or the Raiders after with those 2 defensive tackles on the team now.
27 yards.
Yeah, Janty. Now they were getting blown out early, so that changed. That they didn't try much, but Janty had 6 carries for 7 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was really good to see.
Yeah,
really good to see. And Dak had just a phenomenal day. 4 touchdowns, no picks, 268.
He was awesome. Yeah.
25 of 33. Javonte Williams, over 90 yards. George Pickens.
Dude.
Wow.
When they got him, I was like, okay. I mean, that's bad for Eagles fans, but there's the hope because he was always such a hothead and a maniac on the field. The hope was that they would get the worst of him if you're rooting against him being good for the Cowboys, like I am and Commander fans and Giant fans are. There has been none of that I've heard about at all, unless I missed something. You tell me.
No.
But and he's been even better than I thought he would be, and I always liked his talent. So
134 yards and a touchdown on 9 catches.
I mean, that is an insane 1-2 now, an absolutely insane 1 and 1A.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun to see for sure. He's had a couple of penalties for taunting or.
He did the goalpost grab. Didn't he do that?
Yeah, and he got a penalty for that. So you got to put up with that. But if that's the worst of it, I'll take it because it could be a lot worse than that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's not punching cornerbacks or walking off the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're doing all right.
Yeah. It just is a wait and see now for them. Wait and see. The next 3 games are going to basically define their season.
I agree.
Eagles, Chiefs, Lions. Next 3 games.
Yeah, it's huge. Are they a good team now, or did they just whoop up on a crappy team and give you false hope? And that's a real question. I'm not sure of the answer, honestly. I mean, before all these people came back, they were a really bad team.
Yeah.
Now I think they have a chance to be a decent team again. I really wish the Eagles had gotten 2 games in before this bye and these additions.
Right. And it makes, plus the games at home too, makes the next Sunday really, really important and fun. It should be a fun game. I'm really looking forward to it now. It might be, if the Eagles offensive struggles continue and Dallas defense continues to play well, and of course the Eagles defense play well, this could be a low scoring, this could be the Eagles like third straight low scoring game, win or lose. It could be another 17-13 or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of possible outcomes with this one, and I'm very curious about it. I can't wait. We'll dive even further when we do the preview show, but man, it is going to be a fascinating one to see especially where the Cowboys are at, because we know the Eagles are a very good team. Just a question of, are they the best in the league or the second or third best? It pretty much comes down to that. You know what I mean? But is Dallas I don't think you can make a case that they're in the dregs, but are they in the upper end of the lower third of the league, or are they back into playoff contention? You know, there's a wide range of what the Cowboys are moving forward now.
Yeah. It's all about this defense. I want to see them against the good team. This is a great test. And the game after that against Kansas City is another test. And if they keep, when they made these moves, I even said, I just want them, don't be the 32nd ranked defense. Be 18.
Yeah.
And I think that's on the table.
I agree. I absolutely agree, Craig. I mean, I gotta give him credit, because Jerry at times looks like an absolute fool.
Yep.
You know, and in large part because he says some stuff in the media while things are going on that comes off really crazy sometimes. And he also does some stuff that is stupid, like, the way he handled the Micah Parsons thing still doesn't look good. But man, did him and the son pull this together and reshape this D in a hurry. I can't believe it.
Yeah. And they got them. Yeah, they should be set for a little while too, in terms of next year and the year after. So, and they've got the extra first round picks from the Micah trade. So that's all good. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it, man. Yeah, we'll find out a lot this week for sure.
All right. Well, that's it. We did the review show.
Boom, nailed it. Yeah. So how do we do with our picks, by the way?
Oh, you have taken the lead.
Whoa.
You are up by a game now. You went 11-4. I went 10-5. Joe went 9-6. You now have 105. You're 105-59. I am 104-60, and Joe's 104-60. Me and Joe are one game behind you, tied.
Man, this is coming right down to the end, man. This is something else. It's fun having Joe on board because, man, it's, you and I are always battling anyway, but now we got a third person who knows their stuff in the mix, and I love it. This is fun.
A lot of fun. All right, we're up again.